Cleophus Prince Jr. was born on July 24, 1967, in Birmingham, Alabama. He grew up in a large family, the eldest of 8 children, in a home marked by poverty and instability. His father, Cleophus Prince Sr., had a long criminal record, including violent crimes, and much of Prince Jr.'s childhood was shaped by this turbulent environment. Despite that, those who knew Cleophus as a boy described him as polite and athletic, a young man who, on the surface, seemed to have promise. After finishing high school, Prince sought a new start. In 1987, he joined the United States Navy, hoping that military service might offer stability and a future. He was stationed at Miramar Naval Air Station in San Diego, California, far from the troubles of his Alabama home. For a time, it appeared he might find his footing. However, within 2 years, he ran into trouble with the law. In 1989, Prince was court-martialed for stealing a postal money order, a petty but serious offense under military law. He served a short sentence and was discharged later that year. No longer in the Navy and without clear direction, Prince remained in San Diego. He moved into an apartment complex called Buena Vista Gardens in the Clairemont Mesa neighborhood. The quiet, suburban atmosphere of the complex contrasted sharply with the dark path he was about to take. In early 1990, a series of brutal murders began to terrorize San Diego. Young women, many of them living alone or with roommates, were attacked and killed in their homes. The killer entered through unlocked doors or windows, often in broad daylight, and stabbed the victims repeatedly with knives taken from their own kitchens. The murders were vicious and personal, and the women were often found posed or with jewelry missing. What no one yet knew was that the killer was Cleophus Prince Jr. Between January and September of 1990, 6 women, Tiffany Paige Schultz, Janine Marie Weinhold, Holly Suzanne Tarr, Alyssa Naomi Keller, and Pamela Gail Clark and her daughter Amber, lost their lives to his attacks. Prince appeared to choose his victims carefully, following them home from gyms or apartment pools, waiting for moments when they were alone. His crimes shocked the city, and because the victims were all white and Prince was black, the racial aspect drew wide attention and public anxiety. Investigators spent months piecing together evidence. Prince's downfall came not from a dramatic chase but from persistence and science. DNA evidence, eyewitness reports, and stolen items, including jewelry from his victims, all pointed to him. In early 1991, after a failed burglary attempt in which he was recognized, police moved in. He was arrested in March 1991 after returning to his family home in Alabama and extradited back to California to face trial. His trial began in 1992 and was one of the most closely watched in San Diego's history. The prosecution painted Cleophus Prince Jr. as a cunning predator, while the defense offered little explanation for his transformation from Navy sailor to serial killer. The evidence, however, was overwhelming. On July 13, 1993, a jury found him guilty of 6 counts of first-degree murder, among other charges. That November, he was sentenced to death. Cleophus Prince Jr. was sent to San Quentin State Prison, where he remains on death row. Over the years, he has appealed his conviction, but his sentence has been upheld, most notably by the California Supreme Court in 2007. Prince's crimes left a permanent scar on the community of San Diego. Residents of Clairemont spoke for years about how his actions changed the way women lived. Doors were locked, windows barred, and routines altered. He became a grim reminder of how evil can lurk behind an ordinary facade. Now, decades later, Cleophus Prince Jr. lives out his remaining days in prison, awaiting an execution that may never come. Once a promising young sailor, his life stands as a chilling example of how choices and darkness can lead a man from service to savagery, and from freedom to a death row cell.